Are you on Facebook now?
No, not yet. I don't know. This thing is. Let me try something different. It says that it's unable to do it. It says try again.
Okay. Weird.
4 or 5 minutes more, though.
Are we live now?
Working on it.
Well.
Were you able to connect?
No.
Okay. No.
Just go ahead, please.
Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you, Doug and Simm, so much. It's so good to see everybody. And I'm just going to start. My name is Vicki, and I think I know you all. I do, as I'm looking around the room. Can everybody hear me okay? Do I have my mic up loud enough? Good, thank you. So what we wrote what I wrote is so quickly, I wrote it. The central concept of Yom Kippur, the holiest day of our year, is forgiving. For God to forgive us and for us to forgive ourselves and others. And it's quickly approaching, and I wanted to take an opportunity to explore forgiveness, what the meaning is, what the definition is, what it is not, what we're taught about it, what it's in our belief systems, what's in our hearts, and to prepare to fall in and to really forgive. And we've split it into 2 parts. Today is about forgiveness, and next week is about self-forgiveness. And this is a course that I have given in shortened form many times, and I've started presenting it in a 1-day and then a 2-day format, and it's been really beautifully received, and it was just so beautiful to do it. I know that 45 minutes is not very long for this topic, but I'm going to make it as interactive as possible. If you guys want, my email is victoria@nightlyhealing.com, victoria@nightlyhealing.com. And if you email me, I will send you some notes about today. So, you know, you can get the notes, the questions I'll be asking, I'll send them to you as questions. And also, if you are interested in speaking to me about this or about anything, just, you know, I'll send you my phone number and all of that. So I'm going to, if you could just close your eyes for a moment, I'm going to ask you some questions. And when you're doing it, just take a deep breath in and let it out and close your eyes. And good Shabbos, everybody. What a beautiful teaching for a Shabbos. And during this time of COVID, when we're still not really going out very much, although some of us are really going out to work and doing much more than others, it's a beautiful time to go in. And what a perfect time to go inside as we're approaching our high holidays. And I'm going to ask you some questions now. And I'd like you to just, as I ask the questions, I'm going to space in between them, just let the answers arise, all right? And here we go. What is forgiveness? What is it? When you just sit quietly with this word, what emotions arise? Where did you learn the meaning of forgiveness or get the belief that you have about forgiveness? Was it family, religion, culture? And if you were to let go of the meaning that you've been taught to believe or that you've picked up to believe, if you were to let go of it, if you were to let go of the expectations of what forgiveness is supposed to mean, what is it truly to you? What are your beliefs? Take your time for a moment and just let this arise within you. Dig deep inside. Were you told or taught what to forgive? Maybe what not to forgive? What's acceptable to forgive? Just when you're ready, take a deep breath in and open your eyes. And everybody is muted. And if you would like, I would love for, what is it to you? What is forgiveness to you? What is the meaning? And remember that we're not taught how to forgive. Everybody says, oh, you need to forgive. We're not taught. We're taught to accept. We're taught how to blame, but we're not taught how to forgive. So what is forgiveness to you? Just raise your hand. There you go, Doug, yes. Stephen got you afterwards.
I just unmuted myself. Forgiveness to me is not just...
Can you speak up a little bit, honey?
Yeah, forgiveness to me is not just forgiving other people, it's forgiving myself.
Yes, yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
There's no right or wrong to this. Stephen, you were next.
Yeah, thanks, Vicki, and thanks for doing this, and good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
And good Shabbos, everyone. I can't see you all on my screen. I'm going to switch to grid view so I can all see you all. But yeah, so as I was preparing for today, I got my journal out and I recalled the Oprah Deepak journey about hope in uncertain times. And Oprah and Deepak had a wonderful, wonderful way of framing forgiveness that actually I've listened to this like 3 or 4 times, and a couple of weeks ago it finally sunk into me that this really said it for me when Oprah said, forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could have been any different.
That's intense.
And basically this whole context was how to create hope within yourself.
Right.
So this is the frame of the journey, the 21-day journey. And
so, could you read that again? That forgiveness.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could have been any different.
Okay.
And once I internalized that, and also the lesson of that particular day's meditation was hope is an agent of healing of the past through forgiveness. So basically it's connected with hope. And for me, once my brain clicked into that frame, it just like helped me work through so many issues.
Right. Beautiful, Stephen. And I'm going to go a bit on a different path than that today. That was based around hope. And it's very beautiful. I wrote it down. But I think today we're going to go, you'll see it's a slightly different tack to it. Ron.
Yeah, that's why I'm here, to learn other perspectives.
I'm glad you're here. Ron, yes.
Thank you. Your first question was, forgiveness, how does it make you feel?
Yeah.
And I felt a certain immediate sense of relaxation. It's like I let loose of something. And I had nothing that I'm aware of that I'm holding on to,
right.
But it was a relaxing feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And you asked, what do you forgive? I think it could be everything and anything. It could be your perception that somebody has hurt you financially, that somebody has taken some asset of yours that doesn't belong to them.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody has accused you unjustly.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody has taken something that belongs to you for your rights under an emotional umbrella. I think it could be anything.
You know, it's interesting, Ron, because it's very interesting because all the examples that you're giving are blame. Somebody did this to me. Somebody did this to me. It's all a blame. And that's part of how we hold it away is blame, victim blame. Because when we're blaming, then we become a victim. Right? So very, very good. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to? I mean, there's going to be plenty of sharing in here. So, all right. So I'm going to go through some definitions and some beliefs. First of all, forgiveness is not about anybody but me. Forgiveness is only about ourselves. It is about letting go of the past. And it's not just like the quote that was just given, Stephen, so beautifully. It's that the past could have been any different. No, we can't change the past, but the past can have a tremendous hold on us, an emotional hold on us. We are still blaming. We're still, hurt. We're still it's when it still has a bind on us, then we can't let go. It's the most selfish thing that we can do. It has nothing to do with the other person, only with us. It's about making peace with ourselves. If you're holding on to what's happened in the past, you can't move forward in your life. So forgiveness is about not just letting go, but being able to move forward. Have you ever heard, I don't know if you have or haven't, there's an expression, and I used to absolutely hate it when I first heard it because it was just so rough, but it's so true. And it's used in other ways also, but on forgiveness, not forgiving is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Right? It's being like wanting to put your hands on someone else's or something else's or the universe's throat, and they don't feel it. It's us that's feeling it. It's us that's so it is. There's a belief that if somebody's gone, then you can't really forgive them. And this is not true. It's never too late to forgive. There's a belief, why bother? It won't make a difference. There's a belief that forgiveness is getting over it. It's not. Forgiveness goes much deeper. And there's forgiveness on different levels. There's, like I say a Ho'oponopono prayer that goes so deep into forgiveness and forgiving somebody on a soul level. When we can forgive on a soul level, then forgiveness truly happens, no matter what has been done to us, no matter how terrible the grievance is, even if we've been victim to tremendous violence. There's forgiving, because forgiving is just a decision. It's a choice to let go. And it's doing it on a soul, on a spiritual level. Some people believe that forgiveness, that if you forgive, it shows weakness. You'd be surprised how many people believe this. Deep inside, if I show forgiveness, then I'm weak, then I'm not the winner here. It has nothing to do with it. Some people believe that we don't deserve to forgive. That what was done to us, if we go with an example, if something was done to us, a rape or something just terrible, then if we forgive, then that somehow is tied into that we deserved it. And it's just so the opposite. And I'm saying these things from experience of years and years of working with people. That also, somehow there's a belief that forgiveness is condoning the behavior. And it is not. Matter of fact, when I first started developing the workshop, I brought up to this phenomenal man I was working with, one of the heads of the journey, and he was giving input into it, and I said, we have to make sure that to know that forgiveness is sometimes remembering, like in the Holocaust. We have to remember. So forgiveness is not condoning, and forgiveness does not mean forgetting. Forgiveness means letting go. So why then don't we forgive? Again, we're not taught how to forgive. There's all these wonderful, to forgive is divine. You have to forgive to heal, the cliches, right? They're wonderful. It's essential to our healing. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, you know, well, that's certainly not forgiving, but there's so many cliches about forgiving. So why don't we? Why are we holding on to the past? And sometimes forgiveness isn't a huge thing. A lot of times, you know, I'll be working with someone who's nearing, you know, end of life. And I'll work with them on forgiveness because they want to leave with a clear heart. And they're like, oh, I didn't realize that there was still forgiveness needed here. I didn't realize I was still holding on to this. And you know, sometimes that holding on it feels good. It's hot. It's that anger. We feel alive. You know, did you guys ever notice that? That, you know, when we're angry at something, we feel really present. We're really alive. These big, strong emotions, right? So why else do we not forgive sometimes? Please speak up. And any more beliefs or thoughts that you have. Yes, Doug.
Trying to unmute it, sorry. Well, I think the reason is because there's a sense of pride and there's ego involved too, because nobody wants to take the blame. I notice that when I get in a fight with someone, like let's say Simm and I have a disagreement and it's over, and then I usually sometimes just say, listen, it was my fault.
Right.
I'm sorry. But I think a lot of ego gets into the way, and stubbornness and
Yes. Yeah.
pride.
Yes. Yeah. Pride is a very big one. Hold on just a moment, Ron. Pride can be a very big one, because nobody wants to be right or wrong, you know, the wrong. Another real reason that word pride also brings up guilt. We're taught that it's the guilt, I mean, the Jewish guilt, do not forgive, right? And if something is done to a friend or a family member or a parent, this happened to me. You can't forgive that person that did it to me, or you're betraying me. It won't come out necessarily in those words, but it's so true. I mean, I have a friend that's still angry at me because I forgave the person that wronged her. She still brings it up. Thank God I can laugh about it. And I make her laugh about it too, even if it's a tickle attack. Yes, Ron.
I think it's very difficult to forgive if what you are intending to forgive addresses an ongoing problem and discomfort that you're living with.
Yes.
That's there. You forgive and you're still suffering from it, and it goes on and on. And I'm not saying it's not possible to solve that, but it's difficult.
Yes, it is. It is. And there's tools. It's almost like forgiveness at that point has to take place on an ongoing basis, you know, on a constant basis, to not hold on, not hold on. I created a diagram once, and it's called, I call it the third entity. That there's two people, and then there's the entity between them, the third entity between them. And that consists of all the rights, all the wrongs, all the experiences, all the memories, everything is within that. And and it's like you have to keep that clear on a constant basis, like a diamond, clear like a diamond, in order to, one, really be present with the other person, but especially, Ron, in a circumstance like you're talking about. And it means doing constant clearing within ourselves, constant. And it's also a choice of how to handle the situation. Do we really want to be there? I know women that stay in abusive relationships. I've only worked with a man that's been in an abusive relationship a couple of times, but women, you know, that are in abusive relationships, I've worked with several times, and sometimes they stay because that's all they know. That's what love is. And they'll even go up and like I saw this one woman in a parking lot go up and start doing this to a man who finally punched her. She knew that punch was coming. She knew she was instigating. But it's just this question of not keeping herself clear and being there for the wrong reasons. It really is not unforgiveness. It just brought that up for me. So thank you.
Thank you.
Who else? Unforgiveness. Why do we keep it away? How do we hold it away? I think I see a hand waving in, it's either David or Diane, but I can't see who it is. I believe it's
Vicki,
David from...
it's Rochelle.
Oh, hi, Rochelle. I saw somebody waving from Diane and David's too. Yes,
It was
Rochelle. Okay, David, let Rochelle go and then I'll call on you, okay?
Thank you, because I could forget. Some of it is habit, you know, just the habit of not forgiving.
Yes.
Also, what you said about your friend, it's like the enemy, what is it? The enemy of my friend is my enemy. How does that go?
Oh, yeah, it's something like that, but it's,
Yeah.
I get it, right.
I believe that it's just acceptance, letting go, and moving on. You know,
Right.
forgive. And why don't we forgive the things you said? Pride, habit. I guess just admitting that you're wrong. Sometimes it's hard to see the part you played, unless, you know, you're really clearing that diamond, like you said, and going in and like looking at things with an open mind.
Yes.
The enemy of my enemy is not my friend.
There you
The
go.
enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, the enemy of my enemy is not my friend.
No, is my friend.
Is not my friend.
No. For example, the Nazis were our enemies. So were the communists. The communists defeated the Nazis. That did not make the communists our friends.
I'm looking at it as the enemy of my enemy. Okay.
Must
Anyway.
be my enemy, right? We got it. I so understand, Rochelle. And you brought up something very interesting, acceptance. Acceptance and forgiving are not the same thing. They're not. There is the acceptance, just trying to accept what happened, and we're taught how to accept. But acceptance is not forgiving. Now, when there's been true forgiving, then there is true acceptance. And that goes into the quote that was told to us just now about forgiveness is giving up hope that the past could have been any different. That is accepting. Giving up that the past could have been any difference. That is truly acceptance. So if something specific happened and there's been true forgiveness, there's also true acceptance. But it's a slightly different take. And some people try acceptance instead of forgiveness, and it's not really letting go. It's just more like, you know, trying to ride over it. David.
Hello, am I on? Oh yeah. What came across my mind is that when I'm hurt, I get angry.
Yeah.
But then what I try to do is send love to the person I'm angry with, have compassion, and that kind of cleans it up. It's, you know, I'm making it sound easier than it is, but it's something that you have to work on. What's going on in the news gives me plenty of opportunity to forgive or to send love to those I don't agree with. There's something else I want to say. the other thing like Doug was saying about ego, I try to I have a balancing act between ego and spirit. And, while he was talking, the spirit went to love. Spirit is love. And everybody has an ego, but we've got to work on loving each other. That's how, that's the way to heal it, I believe, or to let go.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, Eileen, Ron, I'll come back to you. Hi, sweetheart. And I
Hi.
just want to, wait, before you speak, I want to give a shout out to D Sachs. Hello, dearest. I see you sitting there. And
Hi,
I saw
Dee.
you come on first. Love you. Hi,
Um,
Cecile. Hi. Hi, everybody. Yes, Eileen.
sure.
Go for it.
I forgive you. No. I just wanted to say my process sometimes of forgiving for me has to include empathy and understanding,
Yes. Yeah.
or else I really can't get there. I
Right.
can't get to the acceptance until especially if it's a deep hurt, until my head can wrap around it a little bit.
Yeah.
Even if I don't agree with it, if I can understand it.
Right.
That's all
Yeah.
I wanted to say.
Yeah. No, thank you. Beautiful. Yes, Cecile. Cecile, there you go, honey. Oh, you muted again. Unmute yourself. There you go.
Yes, it's a very, very difficult thing. In terms of abused women, this is something really complicated in a different part because their brain has been washed by their partner or whoever is abusing before they get to the point where whatever the person says, that's what it is. And they have a harder time getting out because it's not, they still believe it's their fault and all that. And it's a whole other ball game, domestic abuse.
Yes, it is.
The second thing I want to say is that for me, forgiveness, just as Eileen, it takes for me to understand where the other person or people are coming from. Try to put myself in their shoes, trying to understand
Yes. Yes.
how they got to that point. They did something like that. And it also involves prayer for me.
It also involves what?
Prayer.
Fear?
Forgiveness is a grace. I cannot forgive by myself.
Prayer. Yes. Yeah.
Forgiveness is a grace.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is a grace.
I heard you. Thank you.
I cannot do it by myself. There's somebody who did something horrible to me. It took me 4 years of prayer before I'm able to forgive. But I believe in forgiveness. I believe everything is forgivable. God forgives us everything. So we human, we can forgive. But we have to align ourselves with God, who forgives all, for us to be able to truly forgive. Well, that's me.
That's right, Cecile. It is you. I happen to agree with you, but it is a belief that we have to align ourselves with God, and it's a beautiful belief, and thank you. Stephen, you're the last one I'm going to take because then I need to go on.
Yeah, Thanks. You know, the comments have been really beautiful and I think
Yes.
very insightful. It just strikes me as I'm thinking about it, and this may be where you're going next time, but it seems like you need to forgive yourself first, and that basically if you don't forgive yourself and don't heal yourself as the prerequisite, then it's really hard to forgive others, and that really the pathway is self-forgiveness first, and then moving to.
Steve, thank you. And yes, next week is about self-forgiveness. But let me just say something to what you just said. Because what comes first, the chicken or the egg? You know, how can I forgive myself if I haven't forgiven others? How can I forgive others if I haven't forgiven myself? So it's kind of, I've found that it's kind of like a little bit of a stair-stepping thing, you know? We can forgive others, we can begin to forgive ourselves, and then we can forgive others more, and then we can forgive ourselves more. And to me, you know, I do processes with people that take us way down deep inside to a memory, and then go to the other person and what were they experiencing at that moment, at that time, right? And if we can come to the forgiveness, then we can come to the self-forgiveness, and vice versa. But they are separate things, and I treat them as separate things because we just, like I said, we're not taught to forgive. We're not taught how. So everybody just close your eyes again for a moment. I'm going to read you another couple of questions and just let the answers arise, and then we're going to come back for more. So take a deep breath in. And as we move into Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, and then Yom Kippur, how does not forgiving tie you to your past? Are you willing to let go of these ties to move forward? Are there emotions that arise with this? If you were completely honest, what have you, maybe even secretly, not been able or willing to forgive? Whisper it out loud. Get it out of yourself. What have the consequences of this been? How has it affected your life? What does it cost you to not forgive? And I'll ask this today also. What of self-forgiveness? What have you not been willing or able to forgive yourself for? And what does it cost you? And when you're ready, just open your eyes and come back to me. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about what holds this away. No matter how willing we are, why do we hold it away? The first has already been brought up, the victim blame thing. If I'm blaming someone else, then I am the victim. And this goes to blaming God, blaming the universe. There's conflicting beliefs or values sometimes. There's the belief that I need to forgive, and then a conflicting belief or value, I can't forgive that. Children of the Holocaust survivors, they go through this all the time. There's also something called permission, that we might need permission to forgive. As in children of Holocaust survivors. Whose permission do they need in order to finally forgive, because if they forgive, they're portraying someone. So whose permission do they need? Whose permission do you need to be able to forgive? One of the hardest things about forgiveness for me was forgiving God and asking God to forgive me. I was so angry at God and I didn't even know it. I joke about it. And I was angry because it seemed everybody else got God except me, right? They got it. They had a better relationship. They had spiritual experiences. And I mean, I traveled from one friggin' end of the world to the other. And I was furious. It came to a point where I just was furious. And I was in process with somebody. Everybody else left the room. They could feel it coming, right? So we had this enormous room. And it was just me and the person that was processing me. And I lost it. And I lost it with God. And I said, God, I'm not going to believe in you anymore. And he said, you can't do that. I am you. I mean, I heard this voice in my head. I went, yes, I can. I don't have to believe in you. I can't forsake you because you are me, but I don't have to believe in you. And I gave up every single belief in God that I had ever had, that anybody had ever told me. And that is God, forgiveness, everything, anything, any values to do with spiritual, any values to do with the divine. And I was bereft for a couple of months. And I started rebuilding my relationship with the divine. But I find that with forgiveness, because of that experience I had, and I just said it very quickly, it was a huge life-changing experience for me. And what I learned was one of the reasons we can hold forgiveness away is because of the conflicting permission. How can I forgive myself if God hasn't forgiven me? I need God's permission to forgive me. How can I forgive someone else or the Holocaust or even Hitler if I don't have my ancestors' permission? So there's conflicting permission that you need, and conflicting beliefs and conflicting values. The values we're taught, the values, maybe our own values, but very often the values we have are not ones that are really ours. We've taken them on because the expectations of society, the expectations of others, of what we're supposed to believe in, and the values that we're supposed to have. This is all stuff. I mean, I almost feel badly, doing this so briefly with you guys, because this is tremendously beautiful work to be able to do inside. And I would love to be with you longer on this. And if you are interested in doing anything more, like a course like this, just let me know. I'll put you on my email list, and as I develop it, I'm just developing an online course, thank God, because I don't want to, I can't believe I started developing a traveling business of doing these at 66 years old. It's like, what am I, crazy? So COVID has given me the opportunity to develop things online and be able to speak my heart and to touch other people's hearts, and hopefully encourage others to open their hearts to how beautiful this is, because this is a big word. Forgive is a big word, forgiveness. It's one of those words where there are 6 billion people in this world, and there are 6 billion definitions of forgiveness. So I so encourage you to really, when a definition arises, go, where did I get that? Was that given to me by my family? Did my culture teach me that? Do I want it? Is it really mine? Same thing that we should do with our values. Forgiveness is a big one. And I hope that what we do today will just bring up enough self-inquiry to bring you to a closer place inside as we approach the holidays, to be able to fall in to yourself, into your neshama, into Hashem, and allow forgiveness to maybe finally truly, truly be here. And I'm just going to read a last little paragraph, and I'm going to give this back over to the beautiful music of our friends Doug and Simm. So if everybody wants to close their eyes again, or you can do it open-eyed, but I'm going to read so there's nothing to watch. Closing your eyes and taking a deep breath in and letting it out. What would happen if you were to let go now of all the old negative programming regarding your ability to experience forgiveness in your life? What would it feel like now to allow forgiveness to be here? To feel the bitterness, the anger from the past to be gently welcomed into your heart and then allowed to melt away? What would it feel like now for the fears that you would never be able to really let go of the past to just dissolve and become hope? The possibility that letting go will happen, leaving you to live in forgiveness in the here and now with peace and joy and laughter and ease. What will it feel like to know that the healing and the balance you so crave in your being has already taken place, and that you'll catch up to it? Thank you. Self-inquiry is the path to consciousness and living in choice. Forgiveness is a choice. It's a life-changing one. It's a choice. Please take a moment and thank yourself for the willingness to dive just even a little deeper into your heart and to be a conscious participant in your own life. And be gentle with you, for you are absolutely amazing. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here.
Finishing up our TAO Shabbos.
Thank you.
Good Shabbos and huge love.
I want to dedicate this last part to a family
Family member, my cousin.
that just passed away. She was amazing, and her name was Sandy Landsman, and she was an amazing woman who just thought out of the box and did whatever she wanted to do. And she was a very powerful woman.
We'll end with a little prayer. Okay. little prayer, which is kind of about forgiveness. You may want to repeat it to yourself. May you be at peace.
May you be at peace.
May your heart remain open.
May your heart remain open.
May you know the beauty of your own true essence.
May you know the beauty of your own true essence.
May you be a source of healing for all beings on the planet.
May you be a source of healing for all beings on the planet.
May you be happy.
May you be happy.
May you feel secure.
May you feel secure.
May you feel successful.
May you feel successful.
May you be healed.
May you be free.
May you be free.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, George, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, everyone who came here to engage.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Vicki. Thank you, Dora and Simm.
What's going on? Thank you
you.
so much for being here.
I'm a little emotional now, but thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
And Shabbos, everyone.
Good
Good
Shabbos. Good Shabbos.